It's just sometimes the question an interviewer asks me makes me think of the situation, makes me think of what I want to say, and it gives you more time to think. Like right now, I get a bit more time in my own space, and I'll give an answer that I maybe should have given my teammates. But in this case, everyone gets to hear it, including my teammates. So I hope, and as a result, I'm sure I say too much, but. Hello everyone, this is Darius from the Shotcaller. After the first 2-0 week for Fnatic in the LEC, congratulations Bwipo. How do you feel after this win? Pretty good that we won. The way how, not as much. Why not though? Because there was some bad decision making. The Baron was... No, I'm not even talking about decision making. It's just before the game even starts, it just doesn't feel good to be like, to know that your entire practice up until this week is going to be like, how do I avoid not feeding? Because no one's going to help me. I'm going to have to pick a champion that can somehow 1v2, 1v3, and then play the game. So that's why it feels not as good, because it feels like if we have to do that to get wins on the board, it just feels like we're not a very good team, to me at least. If we have to completely ignore a lane to be able to play through 2 other lanes, it feels like we're just not that great. Like, let's be real. Like, does any of the best teams in the world only play through 2 lanes and ignore 1 lane? Never. Do they always play through the same lane? No. Do they? I'm not even saying that we have to necessarily. It's just the feeling that I know that my jungler is not going to come topside, and when he does, it's not to help me, right? It doesn't feel very good, but it's what I was tasked to do, and everyone like praises me. Oh, this is what Soaz used to do. This is how you should do it. It's just like, no. Like, this is not how you should play League of Legends. This is just what works, and I'm going to continue doing it if we find no other way to win. But obviously it feels bad as a player to just concede everything you have, every kind of priority, every kind of pressure you can have, and just drop it every case. Like, as soon as you're even slightly worried that, oh, Tamkench can ult top, I drop pressure. Elise can be top, I drop pressure. That was basically this Vitality game. Like, this was I had one wave of priority, and then I can keep pressuring, right? I'm playing Yorick. My ghoul's out, I can fight him. Elise could be top, all right, backing off. Oh, Tamkench is base, all right, backing off. And then, I messed up because I knew they were coming top, so I walked way back, but I didn't expect Elise to come behind me. But even then, if Tamkench just ulted behind me with Ashe, I was dead anyway. So it was just a mistake to stay there. I should have just based. But it feels bad that the only thing I could have done much better that game was not dying. It's not exciting by any means for me to play games like this. And even though it feels amazing to win the game eventually, because, I crawl back into the game because the game lasts 35, 40 minutes and I can finally hit level 18 after this guy's been 1 level up on me the whole game because they're running around, playing around him. It just feels bad to play. Not in the game, it's just when I think about it now, it's just like, that was not enjoyable by any means.
Being a bit of a sacrificial lamb there, or a scapegoat, essentially.
That is literally what the coaching staff calls it.
Oh.
So, yeah, I am, and it's what apparently I'm good enough at doing to not be a liability, right? Because at the end of the day, it takes skill not to be a liability in this position. But it's not what I want to be for the team. And I recognize that if I was good enough at playing carry champions and just hard carrying games, that I'm sure my team would play around me, right? But it looks like in the chances I got, I did not pull that off as often as I needed to. I'm sure some people will be like, but what about that Jace game? Yeah, I played well in that game, but it's all about consistency. Yeah. Like, what is your team going to feel good about bringing to the stage? And I don't think Jace is one of those things, not particularly because my coaching staff doesn't agree, because I don't want to do it. Okay. I don't feel like I'm going to be consistent enough doing it. And it's something I'm going to work on. So I hope I can, bring it back, but I don't know what's going to happen, basically. I don't know what the future is going to be like for Fnatic's top laner. I don't know if I'm going to have to continue dropping 50 CS down in 20 minutes and just try not to lose the game before my team wins it. And it's just that thought process, that storyline of trying not to lose the game before my team wins it. Yeah. It's not something I'm excited about showing the world nor playing, but it's what it takes to win. And if that's what it is, then I'll do it. Because I think anyone will agree with me here. You'll take winning over an ego. At least I do. But it's not even about ego. It's just more like, it's the question of, is that really the only thing we can do?
Yeah.
Is that really is that the limit of our gameplay? I would argue from an outsider's perspective that while I completely agree with your feelings, I would realistically feel very much the same way. Given the standings right now, you are the Fnatic is definitely back in the race for playoffs right now. There were some results today that were in your favor. Origin dropping twice. SK picking up 1 win wasn't too good for you guys. Yeah. Misfits being back is also not too good. But at the end of the day, you only won win behind those teams. Yeah. And you managed to get a win against Origin and Vitality, huge wins. And now you can fully focus on getting into the playoffs or like into the playoff spots again. So what I would recommend from an outside perspective is right now do everything you must do. I mean, and then in the off season, that's the first thing to fix.
I mean, of course, like I'm not stupid. I'm gonna play like this the entire way. But I think it's also really silly to think that, you know, in the upcoming weeks, we can't like don't get me wrong, it's not necessarily the gameplay style, it's also the drafting style. Yeah. You know, going into, like, as a top laner, as a player, going into the draft, knowing you're going to get the worst possible matchup, right? Because you're not getting any resources in draft, you're not getting any resources in game. It just makes you ask yourself, is like, am I this bad that this is what my team needs me to do? Like, to win a game? Like, at some point, it's not a question of this is what my team needs on the other side to win. It's more like, am I that bad that my team needs me to do this to win? Am I pulling the team back so much? It's just, you know, it's... You just ask yourself questions that you shouldn't be asking, and it just feels bad. Like, it's not something you want to do, but it's something, you know, like, it's not the hero you want to be, but the hero you need to be, something like that. Like...
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like it's something that you see yourself becoming that you don't want to become as well. You know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, like, I think if you get really good at this, you could probably get away with way more than I did. It's just, it's so hard. It's so much harder to be someone that gets no resources and still have like pressure and still do things. If you have influence on a game with no resources, neither in draft nor in game, like you're faker. You know, like you're insane. You're popping off.
Does it make you respect Source almost a bit more now, given that?
I mean, it's something that I did last year too. Like we took turns, you know. Like it's that simple. It's always something you have to do. It's not about like something now and then, you know. It's just more like every game. And after a certain point, it's just your matchups get worse and worse and worse. And some metas is just not doable. Like it's almost impossible. Like this meta, it's so hard. Because if the enemy top, like if you can keep conceding waves and pressure, this guy's getting plates, XP, and at some certain point, he gets a 1k gold lead, and you haven't even fought him. Like you haven't even died, you haven't done anything, and this guy's 1k gold up on you and a full level up, and you're just like, holy shit, I can't do anything, and that's why it feels so difficult. And of course, you know, I always respected the fact that Soaz did it and was willing to do it. I'm the same. I'll do it, and I'm willing to do it because it's what we need to win. It's just as soon as you start questioning some of the decisions that other people are making, whether it be draft or in game, it's really hard not to be a salty motherfucker.
It's true.
It's really hard, you know, because you feel like as soon as you feel like we're not doing as much as we should be or can be doing, it's so much pressure on you because it's just like. You ask the question that you should never be allowed to ask. Why am I not getting resources? No. You know, why can't I do that instead? You know, you'll maybe sometimes feel like I'll do a better job. This is all things that you can't think about. You just can't. You have to have full faith. Like, if I do this, then my team will win me the game. And honestly, the 2-0 pulled me more to the side of let's just int it. And then what I mean by int it is just let's just let them do whatever the fuck they want topside. Just play the game. I'll go play Mario Kart or something. You know, hopefully I get a blue shell to go throw at their top laner. You know, like I know he's gonna be 2k gold ahead of everyone, right? So I hope I get a blue shell and just whoosh. You know, and in this case, my blue shell is like hilly. You know, in this case, Rakan was my blue shell. You know, it's whoosh. Go kill him. You know, like go kill him, slow him down, or anything like that. Yeah. It kind of did actually. My blue shell was quite effective. I think I slowed him down quite a bit.
Quite a good blue shell, I agree.
Yeah.
Good stuff from Hilly this week for sure. Yeah, it must be a really tough situation for you in particular, given that like when you first came on the team and everyone that praised you beforehand, and what you stood for, being the big carry and being able to play those things.
Was that really what I was known for?
I mean, you were like known for like really strong mechanics and that kind of stuff.
Really?
At least like not really strong mechanics. That would be like Alfari level, I would say. But
Really?
I mean.
Mechanics are worse than Alfaris?
I mean, I'm basing this, for example, off what like LS had said, and like LS went like Alfari is just complete monster, and then you and Licorice were really insane too. Like that's kind of what he always said and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, you were always like viewed or portrayed at least as this like counterpart to Soaz in that regard as well. And I can imagine that this role must be extra taxing for you.
Oh, I mean, it's not about taxing, it's mentally it's difficult, right? Like it's just difficult in the sense that you don't feel like it should be like this. Your point of view of the game, especially as a top laner, is not like, I completely respect the fact that we should go into the lane with 2 people instead of 1. You get more there, fantastic, but it's more the idea that you actually get nothing.
So how do you fix it now?
Do we have to? We just won 2-0. Do we have to fix it?
I mean, you feel like you have to.
I mean, I feel like it, but again, I am not 5 people. I am not 7 people. I am not the team.
It's true.
I'm just a bullet. Like, my coaches can shoot me any way they want. They can aim, put me in any position they want. Just do your thing. Go ahead. I'm just a bullet.
As long as you can keep being that bullet,
Yeah, I mean, that's the mentality you need to have. A bullet doesn't think; he just does. You can. Yeah, they're the gun. They can shoot me wherever you want. Ask me to do whatever they want. That's it.
Have you talked with the sports psychologist about like this role and change and stuff?
Well, the thing is it started this week, so
right.
I'm gonna start talking to him about this, of course.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good call, and I wonder what like your teammates will say after like the upcoming weeks, and I'm wondering about the next upcoming results in that manner for sure.
Oh, we just want to make playoffs. That's it.
Yeah,
that's the goal. And if I have to take a 1 for the team, take 15 for the team, then if we make it in playoffs, it was worth it.
It was all worth it at the end. Like, let's put it like this, 10 years down the line when you will be casting the LEC finals and you will be asked, what was it like to play in those LEC playoffs in 2019? Nobody's going to care about how many bullets you had to pretend to be. Everyone's just going to ask you, what was it like to play in those playoffs?
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's not just playoffs. It's more like finals or something. But yeah, something like that.
Let's hope for the best, of course. Anything you would like to say to the Fnatic fans?
Thanks for believing, I guess. I feel like we got to show that we can still put some wins on the board. We did. Happy you guys. I hope you guys are happy with some wins. Some of you are probably happy with the return of Soaz. Let me put it that way. Others expected more, maybe. But a win's a win. So 2-0 is 2-0.
Can I suggest a hashtag for once?
Sure.
How about Maokai duty?
Sure. I mean, it wasn't Maokai duty.
It wasn't, but it's like, I feel like Maokai is kind of like, the statue of that.
Yeah, he is. He is. Sure.
Hashtag Maokai duty. Thank you so much, Bwipo. Also for being so open in this interview, but also on the Euphoria podcast. Was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean,
make sure to watch it.
I don't see the point of not being open because honestly, it's kind of, I put it this way, like some of the things you say, like in these type of interviews, you don't actually get the opportunity to say to your teammates because you don't think about it. It's not like I wouldn't. It's just sometimes the question an interviewer asks me makes me think of the situation, makes me think of what I want to say, and it gives you more time to think. Like right now, I get a bit more time in my own space, and I'll give an answer that I maybe should have given my teammates. But in this case, everyone gets to hear it, including my teammates. So I hope, and as a result, I'm sure I say too much, but.
I prefer when in general, like in life, not just because I'm an opportunist journalist and whatever the fuck, but in general in life. By the way, I have the same problem. I also say too much and sometimes get in trouble for it. But I always think that it's the best choice for sure. But yeah, maybe it's also the fact that I'm not directly affected when you say it to me, whereas if you say it to a teammate.
I don't know.
Anyway, Euphoria was great. Make sure to watch that as well. Make sure to follow Bwipo on Twitter and Twitch and everything. Thanks so much. Hashtag Maokai Hope you guys have a good day. See you guys then. Bye-bye. We'd especially like to thank Krzysztof Bujnovic, Etienne, Thomas Göttel, Dominik Bolze, Lazy Raven, Adam Novosviat, Erich Althaus, and La Maviota for your very special support. And of course, also, we'd like to thank all the people whose names you see scrolling past you right now. And of course, also all the people that like, comment, subscribe, and support our work. Without you, our work wouldn't be possible. Thank you very much.